from the Lakeside Newsroom of the Henrico Citizen, your hometown news source since 2001. This is the Henrico News Minute with publisher Tom Lapis.
A Henrico school board member explains what prompted her to share an offensive Facebook post, and we'll learn more about the county's coming budget plans tonight. We'll have details about those stories and more in today's Henrico News Minute. It's Tuesday, March 9th, 2021, and it's brought to you today by Henrico County.
And now for the news.
During an interview yesterday, Henrico school board member Mickey Ogburn told me that she was embarrassed and mortified about sharing a Facebook post Friday night about Dr. Seuss books. She said she had shared the post, which had come up on her Facebook timeline, to her personal page quickly and without reading most of it or seeing an attached offensive photo because it made her think of her young granddaughter at first glance. She and her husband had spent hours reading Dr. Seuss books during the Christmas holiday to their granddaughter. The post that she shared included a photo of the Grinch extending his middle finger and a poem that was written to mimic Dr. Seuss prose, but that expressed anger about a recent decision by the company that controls Dr. Seuss's books to stop publication of 6 that it deemed partially racist. The poem included some offensive remarks. Ogburn said she was largely unfamiliar with the decision of Dr. Seuss Enterprises and has only ever read one of the books in question. Instead, she said the few lines that she read of the post made her think of reading Dr. Seuss books with her husband to their granddaughter. She said it wasn't until several hours after sharing the post that she actually read it in its entirety and also saw the photo, which she said she couldn't explain having missed initially. She told me, quote, "If I had ever seen the whole post, I would have never posted it. I'm so sorry that I made this mistake, that I posted this. If I could undo pushing that button and see all of it, I would never have pushed the button. It's embarrassing to me. That's out of my character. Anybody who knows me knows that it's not something I would do. I am just profoundly sorry," end quote. Ogburn said she has reached out personally to everyone who commented on her post or her apology, or also anybody who has emailed her. She also emailed her fellow board members on Saturday to let them know of the post, apologize for it, and encourage them to let her know about any complaints they received so that she could reply personally. She copied Henrico Superintendent Amy Cashwell on the email. She said board members told her that they understood and that, quote, "it happens," end quote. She acknowledged that students or school system employees who had posted what she did likely would face some consequences from it, and she said that she had learned a clear lesson. Quote, "When you share something, look at it, look at the whole thing. It's a lesson learned for me. Be sure of what you're posting. We all have to understand that when we post something, we're responsible for what we post. I've just tried really hard to own that mistake, to be proactive, to tell anyone that I find the rest of what's there offensive as well," end quote. Yesterday, Virginia Department of Health officials announced that the first known case of the COVID-19 virus variant B1351 had been confirmed in Central Virginia. Officials did not indicate where the case occurred. The person had no history of travel during the exposure period. The variant is the one that first emerged in South Africa late last year. It's associated with a higher risk for person-to-person transmission of COVID, although there's no evidence that infections with the variant cause any more severe disease. To date, it's been identified in 19 other states. It had previously been identified in Virginia. This was the 11th known case in the state. Virginia's also confirmed 31 cases of the B117 variant, which was first identified in the United Kingdom. Henrico County Manager John Vitolkis will present his proposed fiscal year 2021-2022 budget during tonight's Board of Supervisors meeting. Be sure to check henricocitizen.com later tonight to learn more about it. The meeting starts at 7 p.m. On Thursday night from 7:05 to 8:05, U.S. Representative Abigail Spanberger will host an open public telephone town hall meeting that will feature details about the state's efforts in dealing with COVID-19. Her guest will be Danny Avula, Henrico's health director and currently Virginia's vaccine distribution coordinator. Spanberger also will provide updates on the American Rescue Plan Act, which includes tens of billions of dollars for vaccines, testing, and other COVID-related issues. The U.S. House is expected to vote on the bill later this week. To join the town hall, you can call into 855-920-0555. You can also watch it live at spanberger.house.gov/live or on her Facebook page. A new restaurant and a new retailer have opened at the Willow Lawn Shopping Center in the county's near West End. IHOP has opened as of March 5th in a 4,094 square foot space between Alpha Comics and European Wax. The restaurant hired 60 employees to staff the space, which seats 150 customers inside and 32 outside. And late last month, arts and crafts store Michael's opened. It is located in a 17,500 square foot space near Gold's Gym and Ross Dress for Less. Next Monday, Fairfield District Supervisor Frank Thornton will hold a virtual constituent meeting. It will provide an update about the General Assembly session and also the process to prepare Henrico's next comprehensive plan. Members of the General Assembly who represent the Fairfield District will join Thornton for a discussion, and Rosemary Deemer, the project manager for the county's 2040 comprehensive plan, also will outline the process to draft that plan, which will serve as a guide for future development in Henrico. The meeting will begin at 6 p.m. It'll be held on WebEx. You can visit henricocitizen.com, click on News and then Government, and find this article to find a link to the event. State Senator and Democratic gubernatorial candidate Jennifer McClellan successfully championed several pieces of legislation during the General Assembly session that ended last month. And in an interview this week, she talked with our partners at Virginia Scope about the session and how it will impact her campaign for governor moving forward. You can read that Q&A right now at henricocitizen.com by clicking on News and then Government. Today's Henrico News Minute has been brought to you by Henrico County's COVID-19 Emergency Rental Assistance, providing assistance for those who've experienced economic impact related to the virus, such as job loss or furlough. Applications are available at henrico.us/DSS or by calling 501-5294.